Hi there, my name is Brandon and I'm making another video. This time I'm trying to make it completely clean, that way I can buy ads. This is my brand and you can look me up on my clean version of my URL, which is don'tbeaslave.com. And today, in less than 10 minutes, I'm going to teach you how you can operate any vehicle that you want without a driver's license, without smog, without license plates, without registration, completely legally, and so where police can't pull you over at all, completely legal. So first and foremost, we're going to be looking at the United States Code, which is divided by title. As you can see, there's all these different titles, right? The first thing we're going to be looking at is Title 18, which is Crimes and Criminal Procedure. We're going to go to 18 USC Section 31. This first number is the title. This is the body of law, this is a section symbol, and this is the section number, definitions. And you can type this into Google. You don't even need the S symbol, and you can just do USC. This will pop right up, including anything else I might show you on here. Very easy to find. Now, you go where? To the Bureau of Motor Vehicles or Department of Motor Vehicles to get your license plates and your driver's license and everything else. Well, everyone assumes what a motor vehicle is. Here's your definition right here. 18 USC 31 subsection A6, the term motor vehicle means every description of carriage or other contrivance propelled or drawn by mechanical power and used for commercial purposes. It's blue and underlined like that because that means you can click on it. It's got a special definition, which we will cover. On the highways in the transportation of passengers and property or cargo. Whoa. Now let's go down and check out what that means. Used for commercial purposes, right? The term used for commercial purposes means the carriage of persons or property for any fare, fee, rate, charge, or other consideration, or directly or indirectly in connection with any business or other undertaking intended for profit. So a motor vehicle is a vehicle that's transporting people or goods in exchange for some sort of monetary consideration, specifically and explicitly for transporting that person or thing from point A to point B, such as if I paid you $10 to transport a box from my house to my friend's house, or if I was a chauffeur, such as a bus driver, or if I was a taxi driver in New York, or an Uber driver, or a Uber Eats delivery guy. These are all motor vehicles. So you driving around or moving around in your own car for non-commercial purposes would not technically classify as a motor vehicle. You can even see here in California, they separate this out a lot. This is from, you just type in California Vehicle Code definitions, this will pop up. A commercial vehicle is a vehicle which is used or maintained for the transportation of persons for hire, compensation, or profit, or designed, used, and maintained primarily for the transportation of property. Whereas an automobile, you don't go to the Department of Motor Vehicles for automobiles, by the way. An automobile is a passenger vehicle that does not transport persons for hire. This includes, now it says includes, it doesn't mean is exclusive as only. It just says includes, meaning it could be one of these things or maybe other things too. Station wagons, sedans, vans, and sport utility vehicles. So wait a second there, Brandon. You mean to tell me that I drive around in a way where the state believes that I'm driving in a commercial activity and it's some kind of a job or I'm transporting people for property for money? Yep. Now this gets even more wild because we've got the next thing here, which is 49 Code of Federal Regulations, Section 390.5T. You've heard a lot of these sovereign citizen type people driving around saying, I'm not driving, I'm traveling. But they never say where that comes from. Well, let's see. What is the definition of driving or driver? Driver means any person who operates any commercial motor vehicle. So when you get a driver's license, or when you give the police officer your driver's license, in that moment you're saying, Hi officer, I am operating a commercial for hire motor vehicle. You have full jurisdiction over me. So you ask me, well, if a driver's license is a commercial activity, then what does that mean? And I say to you, well, if it's a commercial activity, then that's how the police and the state get jurisdiction. And we're going to go over jurisdiction a little later in this video. Commerce is within their jurisdiction, non-commerce is not. So you ask me, well, how do I operate these vehicles and do these various things outside of commerce? The answer is a passport card. On the DS11, the application for a U.S. passport, you can get a U.S. passport book, U.S. passport card, or both. A lot of people don't realize, too, is you can get a regular book or a large book. Get that card, carry that card. Now, when it comes to jurisdiction, there's two types of jurisdiction. Personal jurisdiction is the requirement that a given court have power over the defendant based on minimum contacts with the forum, right? Basically just means jurisdiction over you as the human being. Subject matter jurisdiction is the power to hear a certain kind of claim that is brought to that court and can also include the vehicle in question or the activities in question. One of the easiest ways to break personal jurisdiction, as well as subject matter jurisdiction to some degree, is this passport card. But if you go above the DMV, they have this thing called the Federal Motor Carrier, right? Now, there's two types of motor carrier. There's a private motor carrier and a for-hire motor carrier. A private motor carrier transports its own cargo, usually as a part of a business that produces, uses, sells, or buys that cargo that is being hauled. A private motor carrier transports its own goods and is not required to have a U.S. DOT number, but does not need operating authority. Heading back over to 49 CFR 390.5T, for-hire motor carrier means a person engaged in the transportation of goods or passengers for compensation. So this is very, very interesting. Going online and getting a private motor carrier DOT number is completely free, and it's attached to some sort of business or trust. Ideally, you would create a trust, and then you would attach it to the trust, which is more complicated than this short video can go. This is kind of like just to give you ideas. You only need one of these numbers for every single car, motorcycle, everything that you have that is not operating in commerce. And you actually can create your own license plates with this private motor carrier DOT number, and you can operate these vehicles outside of a commercial activity, and you never have to go to the DMV ever again, and it's all free. There's no smog, no registration, nothing. But we're going to cover what is registration exactly. As far as I can tell, registration is the Motor Vehicle Theft Prevention Program from 34 U.S.C. 12611, and it's going to piss you off, probably. Motor Vehicle Theft Prevention Program. The owner of a motor vehicle, which is a commercial vehicle, may voluntarily sign a consent form where you basically say that the vehicle is not operated under normal specified conditions. You agree to display program decals on devices, which is probably the registration sticker, and it permits law enforcement officers in any state to stop the motor vehicle and take reasonable steps to determine whether the vehicle is being operated by or with the permission of the owner. They don't need reasonable articulable suspicion or anything when you have current registration, as far as I can tell. You're waiving all your Fifth Amendment rights and everything because you're involved in a commercial activity. You are not private. Another important thing when it comes to breaking subject matter jurisdiction is the manufacturer's certificate of origin, which this is hilarious. It comes straight from the American Association of Motor Vehicles, which is commercial. Manufacturer's certificate of origin, MCO, refers to the original ownership document for a vehicle. So this is from California, new vehicle with MSO registration requirements. When a new vehicle has never been registered or titled in any state or country, if you do an application for title or registration, you send the superior title, which is the manufacturer certificate of origin, properly endorsed, which means released, to the state. So you're exchanging the superior title, which is the MSO-MCO, for a stupid certificate of title. Now they call it, once a vehicle has been issued a state or jurisdiction title, the MCO-MSO is no longer available. They destroy it because now they own the vehicle. You just gave your vehicle to the state. The police is policing what is owned by the state. They're not policing anything that you own. So combining the power of the passport with the MCO or MSO, and then also having the private motor carrier DOT number, you're completely outside of commerce. No smog, no driver's license is needed. Police can't do anything to you. Now, it doesn't stop the sheriff's office from doing something with you if you're causing accidents or harming people. That wouldn't be statutory. That would actually be found under common law. So you can still get in trouble for driving like a crazy man. It's just that you're not donating your car and everything else to the state. I have a lot of free information on my website. It's completely free if you want to learn more. I don't even want your money. Don't even try to give it to me.